Yeah. Hi, I'm Joyce Reynolds Sinclair, active in ASP since the founding of the NorCal chapter, which was expanded to the US West Coast chapter in the fall of 2021. And I'm currently chapter president. I'm also managing director with GeoGroup Strategic Services, a strategy development and execution consulting firm that has worked with our clients virtually since 2003. I am really excited to be here today with Stephen Lerch, president, speaker, consultant with Story Arc Consulting. And he's presenting the breakout session at the ASP Global Conference, Innovation Through Culture, Stories from a Decade at Google. Steve's session is on Friday, May 20th in the morning breakout slot. This year's event is fully virtual on a dynamic new conference platform. So I hope that you'll join us there and then. To start, please introduce yourself, Steve, and share what attracted you to present at this ASP conference.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me. Yes, my name is Steve Lerch. I am the president of Story Arc Consulting. I live outside Washington, D.C. I've been running my little tiny consulting and public speaking business for about 3 years now. And prior to that, I worked at Google for about a decade, both at their headquarters in Mountain View, California, and then for 5 years here in Washington, D.C. And it just sounded like a really interesting conference to me. This is my first experience working with this organization. And obviously, anytime a group of people are getting together to talk about strategy and focusing on the future and building plans for the future, it speaks loudly to me and my experiences at Google. And yeah, just something I was excited to be a part of.
Great. Very good. Well, I've attended and learned from every ASP conference since I joined in 2003. Because I learned the latest and really excellent pragmatic tools and approaches that I can use in my work. So I'm very excited to hear what you're going to be sharing and delighted with the opportunity to share with others more about what you're going to cover in your presentation. So why don't you share with us, what are the key themes you'll be focusing on?
Yeah, when I'd like to talk about innovation, I always try to do it from despite working at Google for a decade, I like to say I take the technology and the science and the engineering out of innovation. I think some of the key themes I like to cover is just that innovation is a very practical and simple process a lot of times. And even at a place like Google, where I'll share a lot of stories from, or Apple or Facebook or Amazon, these big tech companies, even at places like that, most innovations start with very simple, practical, cultural ideologies around how we structure our teams, how we set our goals, how we brainstorm. And that these really cool and innovative brands, they're doing things that any other organization, any team, any individual can copy if they come in with a certain mindset, a certain nimbleness and flexibility. And that's what I want to talk about in my presentation. How do you approach your business? How do you approach building a strategy from that open-minded sense with that culture in mind? And I'm going to share some of those tips and things that I learned and taught during my years at Google, and hopefully some real practical and easy steps to follow that, like I said, anyone can follow.
Oh, that sounds great. I'm really excited about that. Can you say a little bit more about how this whole topic relates to the conference theme of strategy in the right now world?
Yeah, and I think it's so true with any topic right now, with just how much the world has changed. And it's so easy for us to look and see how much COVID changed the world, but we really live in such a dynamic culture and climate now where the world reinvents itself so quickly, so many new technologies, so many new trends and behaviors. And I think because of that, we find ourselves needing to build strategies and cultures and plans that are so quickly reactive and so adaptable to any change. So really, when I think about that idea of right now and building a strategy for right now, it has to be a plan and a process that can change for tomorrow and for the next day and for the next day. We're in a world now where you can't set a plan, lock it in place, and think you're going to use it for 10 years. So how do you build that nimbleness? And I think innovation is a big part of that. And I think that's what I'm going to try to share when I tell some of my stories from Google and some other companies that inspire me.
Well, that's going to be wonderful. Thank you so much for talking with me and creating this video to share with ASP. I'm looking forward to the session Friday morning on May 20th. So anybody watching this, please register for the conference at www.aspglobalconference.org. And I hope to see you there. Bye-bye.
Thanks.